everybody, and welcome to Once Upon an Upside. We're back for the July recap, which is just one single movie.
One lone movie. I could hardly believe it.
I'm Jess, your host, and we have Carrie back with us.
Hey.
And Casey's back.
I'm back. I was like, oh, one movie? Sure, that's easy. Have me back. I had so much fun last time.
And we love having you. So, yeah, our one movie is called Love in Whitbrook. And it is about a project manager who's offered the opportunity of a lifetime in London. But when she returns to her hometown and meets the perfect guy, her passion and talent for painting is rekindled, giving her a new outlook on life and love. That's our short and sweet summary, and starring Brittany Bristow and Corey Sevier. That's how you say it.
Seaver.
Seaver?
Actually, I don't really know.
Maybe severe, like Sevierville in Tennessee, except without the ville.
There you go. Someone tell us. We don't know.
I haven't seen him in anything since, well, I guess last Christmas. He was in the Heart of the Holidays. Do you guys remember that one? Heart of the Holidays. It was a little bit, I know, it was one of those that kind of flew under the radar. It didn't really stand out very well. Yeah. But so it was good to see him in a more recent movie again.
He's new to me, so I was like, okay, cool. I'm terrible with remembering faces. So
really, Casey? I'm terrible with names. Are you with names?
I'm really good at names. Yeah. It's
great. One thing that it's hard not to recognize this Corey guy, because he is like, to me, he's like Mr. Pert plus hair. Like he is just that beautiful, like hair that just kind of falls in his face, and it's shiny and it's beautiful. And he looks like he's on a Pert Plus commercial from the 80s and 90s when I grew up. So, he's for sure is recognizable to me for that.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Now I'm looking at this bro because
I feel like he's been in quite a few movies that.
But Lifetime, he's been in a lot more Lifetime, I think, than Hallmark. But he was in with Ashley Williams.
That I've seen.
Oh yeah, UpTV and Lifetime. So
he was in Heart of the Holiday. Okay. Matchmaker Christmas, Northern Lights of Christmas, Christmas for Christmas is in a Wedding, The Art of Us. He was in The Art of Us. Okay. See,
was he? I just watched that the other day.
Well,
apparently he was.
He was the ex-boyfriend. That's right. He was like the ex-boyfriend or something.
He was on Psych. Oh, he was on Smallville, 2008. I would have seen that. Still don't recognize him, and I don't think I've seen any other movies he's been
in. Well, anyway, now that we have his IMDb practically down, let's move on to our plot. So it starts with Amber getting offered this incredible job opportunity in London, but she wants some time to think about it first, because obviously going to London is a big move.
Right.
But then she goes home, because they always do. Go back to the small hometown, and they're planning a Founders Day party. So she's going to help with that because her dad sprained his ankle. And I really felt this moment because at that time I was in a cast from Breaking News. I'm like, I got you, Dad. Keep it up.
Well, yes. So he's hurt. He hurt his foot, and so she has to come home and help with the cafe because he hurt his foot. So you definitely felt that because of your recent injury, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. The ways we connect. Now, I thought the two of you would connect with this movie because of the painting aspect.
I did, but I felt like it was more talked about more than shown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was a bit of like a disconnect. Whereas like in the movie, going back to The Art of Us, like painting is such a big focus, and so there I think it worked a lot better than this. It was just kind of like, yeah, she's a painter, but you only see like one of her paintings, right? Or maybe two.
Yeah
because she has one on the wall in the cafe, and then the backdrop she was working on.
The backdrop, she actually put her paintings up in the cafe, but they were so small, and you kind of like had to like really look, squint at the screen in order to see what they even were. yeah, I thought they were good paintings though. Sometimes you kind of see the paintings or the art in these movies and you're like, oh, that's what everyone's exclaiming over. And you're like, I'm not sure. But these were really pretty, really precious. And I could see, what the deal was that they were trying to make. But you're right, they talked about it a lot. They didn't really show it.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't really feel like a big emphasis to me as like for the storyline and that synopsis. I would have expected more of a struggle of oh, I'm home. I remember I love painting, and maybe somebody dissuaded her really strongly against it. I just kind of felt like it was a weaker storyline with the painting thing.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that didn't really work for me in this movie, is that there really didn't seem to be a focus. Like, I felt like we were just kind of like these random, like nothing was really connected for me. I know we're not at the ranking and all that, but it felt very disjointed.
Let me tell you, I felt the exact same way. That is so interesting that you said that, because I'm like, okay, cool. We're going city girl returns home to help her family. All right, we got this. And then I was like, oh no, what we're doing is the country boy who lost his parents and he sacrificed it all to stay with his sisters. Okay, let's go with that storyline. And then it was like, oh no, it's the promotion and everybody wants to travel, but you have to stay home, and let's go with that storyline. And then it was like, oh, the festival needs saving, quick, do the festival and let's plan that. And I was so whiplash the whole time.
Yeah. And then save the coffee shop, and then babysit you. Yeah, it was like, what is even happening right now?
Everything was happening. That's the thing.
And yet nothing, because I felt like nothing significant happened.
Oh no. Okay, which storyline would you have wanted them to camp out on? Like, was it the self-discovery of the painting? And
I think that one. I mean, I'm the artist. I have to say that one.
Yes.
I feel like that would have been a good B plot.
Yeah.
Like, you have girl returns home, and then you have the main storyline, which is the love story. And there was like no push and pull in that love story until the end, when it was a misunderstanding because of a misunderstood phone call. There was absolutely no push and pull between them. It was so like, their relationship to me was so weird.
It was very platonic. Like, I'm like, these guys are friends, but they're nothing more to me. Like, I couldn't feel it beyond.
They were friends, and they were
great friends. Like, they were very cute as friends, but I'm like, an actual couple, I'm not there.
I know. They were cute friends. They had the flower fight. They had the car wash fight. They had the playing football scene. They did a lot of friendly, fun platonics together. Mm-hmm. They giggled a lot. They giggled a lot together.
They got locked in a room together with a big bell.
A room together.
Yeah, that so happens to have a giant bell.
They couldn't carry the bell, but I did think he tried to up the chemistry with that cute pseudo date that he planned, taking her back to her grandmother's gazebo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He had the Gerber daisies that he remembered her saying was her favorite. He did something else. He made sure she had like this great space to paint. Like, he was trying to up the chemistry.
Yeah. And I think it could have worked in a different storyline. I just don't think the story allowed it to work the way it needed to.
Because there's so many other things going on, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for life being complicated, because it is. And so we're all, we have all these things going on. Everyone has their own story. But because, like you said, Jess, because they were trying to do everything, nothing really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And toward like 10 minutes towards the end was in 10 minutes. And I was like, they have 20 things to resolve here. How are they going to do this?
So, another thing that I'm realizing, thinking about other movies I've seen, other Up movies, It's the fact that the storylines are weighted, right?
Yeah.
So in this movie, all the storylines were weighted exactly the same.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then for other movies that have the similar, like girl returns home and then they have the ex-boyfriend and then they have this potential boyfriend and then they have to save their family's farm and blah, blah, blah. You still have all of those elements, but it's like those are minor little things. And there is a big overarching story that's very obvious that carries through that works. And I think that's why it also didn't work. It's because like every single storyline carried the exact same weight. So we didn't feel any desire to have that emotional connection, like, oh, the cafe, her parents, oh no, they're gonna go into debt and bankruptcy. Like you would expect a lot more of that. Instead it was like, oh, they might, I can't really tell you, well, secret. And then you have the boyfriend thing that's not really boyfriend, and you're like, ooh, are they, won't they, friends,
I know.
not friends?
And here's the thing, we always know and we always want them to work out, of course. That is what a lovely theme that runs through this whole genre of movies on the Up channel. It's like, we want these couples to work out. I just want you to pull me into their story. I want you to show me how they work and how they overcome problems and, you know, why they're choosing each other. I didn't feel that with this couple. It was more a little story. They tried to throw the town in there and the history of the town, and it was like history repeating itself with this couple. And I don't know. I thought they really could have camped out on it. This could have been a festival movie and it would have been good. Like, let's just make it about the festival, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, was there something that worked for you in this movie? Like, I loved his little sister. I thought she was a great character.
She was a great character. She was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
And she finally wanted to get serious about her graphic design, go away to school, which kind of freed him up to then go follow his dreams and stuff. But I thought her scenes were really interesting and fun. She was a good character. So she was a highlight to me in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, and we had the other storyline with Charlene having her baby. There was another storyline there too.
Yeah. And we had a baby.
Forgot about that. There was a baby.
Yes.
Now, was this baby more of a newborn looking than the last baby we talked about?
No. No, absolutely not.
I mean, only because it was like the next day and the sister is in jeans at a festival. I was like,
I know.
Like, absolutely not.
I mean, I might be able to make it to a festival that, you know, a couple days after being discharged from the hospital, but I am wearing jeans.
I'm not wearing jeans. And you bet your bottom dollar I have a stroller with that baby in the stroller because I'm holding it.
Yes, that's the other thing.
Holding it the whole festival.
Right. Okay. That was the other thing. She walks in there carrying this little bundle of joy, and I'm like, that thing is like supposed to be 7 pounds and 20 inches. Like, I would not want to be carrying it because what if I tripped?
At night, you have a night. I mean, like, that was a funny one.
Okay. Since we're talking about the baby, the other funny thing that made me laugh is when the sister gets offered cider or something, and she's like, that's not good for the baby. And then we pan out, or that's not good for me, or something like that because of the baby. And then we like literally change scenes. And I'm like,
it's because she had a thing against his Founders Day punch. At the beginning of the movie, she was like, Dad, you always make this too sweet. You always make it, you know, you never make it right on the first try. And so she was just like refusing the Founders Day punch. So it was a little bit of a gag of hers with the Founders Day punch, but it was weird. It's still weird.
See, okay, but that's the thing. Continuation in the movie. Like, it would have been really funny if maybe Dad with his broken leg was sitting in a corner trying to perfect this punch. And you'd see it like every, you know, to remind us that the punch is terrible. And then I feel like that joke could have worked, but I didn't remember that.
I know, it's true.
And, you know, I also think going back to the whole disjointed storylines and all of that, I feel like if the parents were way more involved in the festival, that would have worked so much better instead of the whole coffee shop. It's either one or the other. Either we're saving the coffee shop or we're doing the festival. And I think for this situation, it would have been better if maybe they were super heavily involved in the festival. Dad breaks the leg. He can't do anything. They need her to come home. That makes sense because then she's like, she has to get involved with the festival. He can make his crazy punch. Sister can still have her baby. Amber can still have her love story.
See? It's a festival movie.
Yeah.
It's a festival movie. You just wrote it.
But if anything, it ended up being more about the coffee shop. Like, really didn't talk much about the Founders Day.
No, it's true. I mean, they spent all their time there when she came home to help for the coffee shop, but she really spent all of her time preparing for Founders Day. But the coffee shop, though, I was like, oh man, it's going under. Good thing they're catering this big festival. Nope. 15 people at the festival. No wonder, like, the cafe is going under. It was like, poor guys. They can't even catch a break.
Yeah.
At a community event. Anyway.
Yeah, and they have way more people in Stars Hollow than they did at in Whitbrook. I mean,
Brooke.
Yeah, and for the coffee shop, I feel like it kind of was a disappointing resolution because it was just like they got 2 months of rent free because of a technicality in the paperwork or something. I was like, that was very anticlimactic.
I know. She was like supposed to save the day and save the coffee shop, and she just bought him a little time. That's all. That's what they did.
I was like, oh, okay.
All because he liked her paintings.
Yeah. Well, he's an art appreciator, but he also respected the contract or something. I think he, had given them 30 days notice instead of 90 days, which their lease had said they deserved 90 days. So then he was going to honor the lease.
Sure. That's great. I mean, I guess we don't need a bad man of business in every single movie we watch. So I guess that's fine. But like you guys said, it's like anticlimactic for a movie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And like Kara said, it really only buys them time. It doesn't even really solve the problem.
I know. At least she didn't do like a pop-up shop. Oh, you know what she should have? She should have done a pop-up shop of her paintings.
There you go. There's your movie.
Sell a few more paintings.
That's going to be the sequel, Carrie.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. No, the sequel. Oh, it needs to be about the sister, else I'm not watching. So. I love that sister. That younger sister. What was her name? I forget.
Molly.
Yep.
Molly.
Was Beth a sister as well?
That was the woman who, from her childhood, who directed. She was directing the play or something.
Okay. Mm-hmm. For some reason I thought Beth and Jason and Molly were siblings.
I don't think so.
And then I realized, oh no, Beth's not a part of this family. It's just Jason and Molly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he did a heck of a job raising Molly after the parents died. That's for sure.
Yes, that was thrown in there. I was like, now you're going to pull at my heartstrings? Like, what?
Oh.
I know. Oh, my word.
All right, let's jump to the conflict. We haven't gotten there yet. So the conflict is that she's got this big decision to make. Mm-hmm. She's falling for Jason. And then, of course, we get our little misunderstanding where she's talking on the phone to, the guy who offered the job. And he interprets it as, I accepted the job in London. But it turns out she did not.
Now, the conflict was right at the end, basically. Because the rest of the time, they were getting along great. Best friends forever. But I was a little bummed that he had a misunderstanding right at the end. I was like, oh, no, we almost got through a movie without a misunderstanding.
I know. It's like, we just need to move past that conflict.
Yes. Now, what would have been a better conflict?
Well, I actually kind of liked the conflict that it was headed towards before this misunderstanding. And to me, that was that she put him in this little small town boy box. And he was saying something about her, or she showed him a website that she and Molly created, right? About this, a travel agency. And she said, the best thing is you can do it from here. You know, you can do all of this from here. And he immediately was like, oh, well, thanks. Because he had been looking at travel, like he had been looking online to go places. And she had inspired him to actually get up and go. But so she put him in this little small town box, and that kind of hurt him, I think, and kind of made him second guess if they were on the same page and stuff. I thought they could have gone farther with that misunderstanding or that conflict.
That could have worked.
Yeah, I like it. Better than the misunderstood phone call, for sure.
Yeah.
Never assume. Never
assume. We know this, yet we keep making the same mistake. Oh my goodness.
But in the end, he realizes what really happened is she quit her job to be the starving artist that she was, kind of relearning that she wanted to be and get back to her art.
Yeah.
He apologizes. She's going to travel. He's going to travel. They're all going to travel. It's all going to be great. Everyone's traveling except us right now.
I know. Our plans are being canceled, and yet they get to go and live the travel dream.
It's not fair, y'all. It's not fair.
So wait a minute. Did I hear this right? Did she ask him to travel with her?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. She was like, come.
Travel buddies. Okay.
I kind of thought that was a fun, quirky ending, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Carrie, I have to get your opinion on this very last scene, because ever since that one movie, I have started paying attention to how the kiss happens. What were your thoughts on this kiss? You couldn't see it.
Yeah. You know what? The kiss, the last few minutes here, where they kind of resolve their conflict, she asks him to go travel. He was like, yeah, I want to do that. This is fun. And they have like this new dream together. They finally kiss, because they almost did. And I don't want to say finally, because there was no anticipation the whole movie for me about them actually kissing. But they pulled it off. To me, they pulled it off. I was like, all right. So they did this kiss, and then they kind of froze. But I was like, you know what? Okay.
I thought for sure you were going to be bothered by it because you couldn't really see it. It was still kind of blocked like that.
You couldn't see it.
I was like, are you going to go on another rant about the kiss?
What I liked though about it is that you did kind of see the beginning, but then like they did pan out, and there was just like the two of them,
back of the head or something.
You couldn't even see them kissing. But
did it really happen though? If we didn't see it, did it really happen? I don't know.
Did it really happen? Because I do get bothered when you don't actually see the kiss and you just see like the back of someone's head, which is what this one was kind of. But I mean, the whole thing together made me like,
okay.
All right. That's funny that you remember that though.
I did, because you were so upset about it, and it was funny because in that movie I didn't even notice it at all. I had already stopped watching by the point.
I was like, don't show me the back of their heads. I want to see them actually kiss. I forget what movie that was. That's so funny.
I don't remember either. I feel like Cammie would also feel really strongly about this.
Oh, 100% Cammie would feel very strongly about this.
It doesn't count.
Yeah. The jawline.
Yes, it's all about the jawline.
Cammie, I hope you're listening. I love you.
Are we leaning? Are we touching? What are we doing? I kind of would like to do a kissing podcast, but I also feel like that might be a little too risque.
Okay, but they have done a kissing podcast. It was a good episode. Y'all should listen to it at the Hallmarkies podcast. It was from, I want to say 2018.
It was a different time.
It was a different time, y'all. Different time. Time to bring it back up.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's bring it back up.
Revisit this.
Yeah,
Great
they did the
Carrie
top.
cameo on it.
I think they did their top 10 favorite kisses from Hallmarkies podcast.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Mhm.
Well, we could do up kisses. That's for sure. We could do that here, but we digress. I'm sorry. That is funny that you thought of that, Jess, though, with the kiss.
All these random things I noticed now.
Yeah.
See, the one thing I noticed was the flower fight.
Yes. They had Carrie's pet peeve and they had mine because there was a food on the face too.
Okay. Here was the thing about the flower fight. I was warned. Jess told me that there was a flower fight, and I was like, when is this going to come? At least they did it after they pulled the cookies out of the oven. At least they finished baking the cookies. They were going to clean up. And then they did the flower fight.
They got dirty after the food was done.
After the food was done. But how about that kid throwing handfuls, literally handfuls of flour at them? That was so funny.
I'd be like, I don't know, especially it's like the family house, right? I'm like, my mom would be so mad.
Oh,
So mad.
man.
So what was your pet peeve, Jess, in that scene?
Oh, well, it wasn't that scene, I don't think. There was a scene with a food on the face where they wipe it off or whatever.
Yes!
I can't stand it. I'm like, if someone ever tries to do that to me, I will smack you. Like, do not try to get food off my face. Just help.
See? I wrote in my notes.
Smack you.
I thought of you, but I wrote in my notes, is that really that romantic?
No, it's like, not. It's weird. I will fight this.
It's not romantic.
Okay.
And then they have this moment where they look at each other and they're like, huh, you. Like they're like
Oh my goodness, I can't. So is it just food, or is it like that you have an issue with, or is it like anything that could be, a smudge, a paint mark, or whatever? Because like I get
anything.
it. Like,
it's like, I don't know. It just creeps me out. I don't know why.
like
And this
okay,
one was
in
like-
real.
right on her nose too, which was funny. Like right there.
And also usually because when the food is like on the face, it's never like a realistic food on the face.
Yeah.
Like it's like so casually just, I don't know. It's just random and weird. And I'm like, or like when they have like the milk mustache or something. And I'm like, how do you not know that's on your face? You have to feel it. I mean, come on.
So funny.
I'm digressing now because this was not in this movie. Like there was
Okay,
no
wait.
mustache.
Mud. What about mud on the face? Like sometimes that's a realistic thing. You're like running out of the rain and you get mud on your face or something, and he's like, you got a little something right there.
There's something right there, and he's
Little
like,
mud.
no, like here.
I think it would be funnier. I would go comical route. If like, oh, you've got a little mud, and maybe there is, and then they take that chance to just smack some more on there.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Okay, we need more of that in movies.
Yes.
I could dig that.
I will take it as a comical thing, a comedic thing, not as a romantic gesture.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll smack your hand.
Oh, that's great.
My pet peeve in this movie was the water fight, because there are literally people right there.
Did you see someone in the background at the cafe?
They gave him the stink eye.
He did. He totally did. He's like, hey. I was like, yeah, because they're eating at the cafe.
Especially because, like, have you never sprayed a hose before? It gets everywhere, especially like that first half pump. It's like a spritz.
Yeah.
So everybody within a 6-foot radius of you gets wet until it's like a straight, like,
I know. That was so funny. I was like, no, they're helping you wash cars at the Founders Day parade. And he immediately whips a sponge out at her. Like, it was pretty juvenile. So, yeah. That was your
I feel like, yeah, because people were eating there. I would be so mad if I were eating at a restaurant outside, or even just sitting outside for fun, and
Yes.
people started having a water fight right there. I'd be like, no, listen, I didn't just do my hair to get it all wet again. Okay. See, it could have been
Exactly.
cute. It could have been a cute moment. Like water fights are fun at appropriate places in appropriate attire, but like away from a crowd, not in the
Mhm.
middle
Yeah.
of a street where people are eating
Because then
tea
you're
and
just a
crumpets.
spectacle. If you're like in front of an audience, this is a spectacle at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, then it's like embarrassing. Then people are like, what are you, 12?
Yeah. Like flirt with her in a different way there, man. Come on. Oh, cracked me up. Oh, so how about our leading lady though? We really do love this Brittany Bristow, right? Like
Mhm.
Yeah, Brittany
I just
Bristow.
think she's done such a good job in other movies and as even as like the best friend or the sister, you know, she's so charming and I thought she just did okay.
I thought she did good. I just think the storyline didn't allow them to go where they knew they could have gone.
Yeah.
I thought they were held back by
I
the
thought,
story.
yeah, I thought she carried the movie. I feel like if it were somebody else, it would have been like not
Yeah.
watchable.
But she
Am I allowed to say that?
well, because you're
She
rooting
did.
for her. Yeah, we root for her, and I'm rooting for her to be like this great leading lady. And there were just so many things going on. You're right that the movie the script didn't allow her necessarily to I don't know.
It didn't really give her a chance to really show off her emotions and like the weight that she's carrying of like having to be there for her family and then having to save the cafe and then having to help with all of this and then the relationship and then the job situation. I would have loved for her to be able to like show us, you know, but I feel like because it was just all over the place and we're bouncing around between all the situations here and because it all carried the same weight, she was very like her character was very okay with it all, it seemed.
She really was. I mean, one thing I thought was unfortunate was that she was this whip smart, high, position in these jobs. She's looking to get this promotion and stuff. And yet she comes home to the small town and she almost is like the village idiot where like, oh, she can't drive a stick shift anymore. Oh, she can't make a coffee. And and everyone's like, you can't make a coffee? And I'm like, oh my goodness, cut her like some slack. She just learned how to do this. But
and it's not even making drip coffee. It's making cordettos and lattes and macchiatos and Americanos. Like the it's precision with coffee. Like you can't just like
totally. But I did appreciate at the end then that she was the one who like to go use her business acumen to like kind of save the day, to try to, to talk to that guy, the bad man of business, and with the lease and stuff. Like she did what she is good at, what the whole movie was telling us what she does. She manages these people and she delegates and all this stuff. So she stepped up and she did do that. But I thought she could have had a good conflict of my parents' business is failing. I have this promotion. I could take the promotion and help them with their business, but that would be taking me away from this family I just reconnected with again, like just to kind of have this internal struggle of, do I stay close and we all fight it out together, for the business, or do I leave and really be able to help financially? Like that could have been a really fun kind of internal storyline for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know what I just thought of, which also didn't work for me? She didn't seem to hate her job. Like if it were me and I was trying to decide like between continuing my project management job and then going to be a starving artist, I'm going to hate what I'm doing currently. To go, let's just say like, forget about like lose the benefits, lose the health insurance, lose all this stuff to be a starving artist and travel the world. Like I feel like for me, I would have to hate my job that much because before she's like, oh yeah, London, that sounds fantastic. Yeah. Goes home. Oh, I think I'm going to give that up to be a starving artist. Like,
yeah. Or the other option would be, or she's like so passionate about the other thing, but they didn't show us that. They didn't give us enough to like, yes, this is something she would give up London for.
Yes,
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. True. I'm all about a believable ending, and I do think that this was, I mean, I like the fact that they went together. They went to travel together. You know, she didn't decide just to stay at home, or he didn't decide to just, do something. I don't know. I can see them going off together and then coming back and loving being at home together. And so, I mean, I could see them together towards the end, even if their relationship seemed a little more platonic to me, but maybe it wasn't as believable as I thought, now that you mentioned that, just with the business side of it, and then the passion side of it. Like, maybe being in Europe and being in London, she could have done some painting on the side. She could have done both things, actually. But
did she study painting, or was it just a hobby for her? Because that's my other thing.
I don't
remember. Hobby.
Because like that's like, you can love art, but that doesn't mean you should give up your job to be an artist when you haven't painted in like 15 years.
But everyone told her she was so great.
Yeah, that's great. Sell your paintings, at the cafe. And make sure that make sure that it's a marketable thing and that everybody loves your paintings and that you could sell them for like thousands of dollars.
Right.
Before you go traipsing around the world.
Yeah. How is she affording all this travel?
Savings, I guess. Savings, just starving artist. She wanted to do it.
She pulled her 401k out early.
Yeah. Oh, I see a future for them. I think it's all going to work out fine. It just was, to get there was a funny and chaotic. I was going to say mess. It wasn't a mess. It all worked out fine, but it was kind of just funny and chaotic. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, let us move to our rating. Who would like to go first?
Casey?
I guess I'll go first. I am giving this, how many stars out?
10.
Oh, out of 10. Okay, that's right. Okay, so I am going to give this a 3.75 out of 10.
Tell us why.
The reason being, too many things going on. There were some really kind of moments I was like, oh, this is cheese. Too much cheese for me. And I just would have liked to see more of a focus. Pull on my emotions more, make me feel sorry for characters, make me feel her passion for whatever she loves, whether it's art or saving the business. I would have loved to see the festival really be the center, I think, because a lot of times we have the Christmas festival, we have the fall festival, we have I don't know, an apple festival.
Right.
We never have a Founders Day festival. And I thought that was really fun and unique. And I feel like they could have really honed in on that and maybe brought in some quirky characters. That's having the dad with his cider and that joke kind of run throughout. But it just, I don't know. It was okay. It was just really fun for me. The positive things, I really did like the actors in it. I think Brittany Bristow is lovely. Corey was great in the movie. And then, of course, the sister Molly, that actress was a delight. And then I did like the town feel. I liked how it reminded me of Stars Hollow, kind of.
Yeah.
Like you had that little Stars Hollow feeling.
Even the weather. Yeah.
The weather. It was just, that was cute to me. So that's why I'm going to give it a 3.75.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm very close to yours. I was 3.5, 3.5 out of 10. And the positives for me were, this might've been the best and the most natural I'd ever seen that actor, Corey. I did think he was great in this. He played a real thoughtful character. He was, interested in her. He was kind of fun and playful and jokey, and yet he was so tender with his sister. He was just that amazing community-minded bachelor, that we want in these UpTV movies. So I liked him a lot, and I do like Brittany. I'd love to see her in more things as the lead, maybe with a stronger storyline. That being said, I agree with you, Casey, just about there's too many things going on, not enough depth, and it wasn't even new things that were going on. There were too many of the same old things that were going on in this movie that we've seen in other movies. So yeah, 3.5 for me.
All right. I gave it a 5. Give it a little higher. Because it's definitely not the worst movie I've seen. There's some I have not even wanted to finish. And I thought it had some cute moments, and it had potential. It needed some refinement to really be able to shine.
Yeah.
And plus, like I said, the couple was too platonic for me. Needed to show more of the passion, but
yeah,
it had good actors, like we said. They just needed to be brought together in a better story.
Yeah, and we've said this before, and we talk about this sometimes, is that really it's not our intention to come and not like a movie. Like we want to like these movies. We love the concept of these just fresh and clean and good stories, beautiful sets, fun wardrobes, all of that is enjoyable to us. And so sometimes it's with a heavy heart that you give a lower rating on a movie that you wanted to like so badly.
Yeah,
that was this one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those, like, for me, I would probably watch it with my kids, my girls, when they're a little older, because it's a very like nice and cozy, and there's nothing real questionable, or they don't have to think about it. Like if they watch it when they're 10, and not because it's age, like they can watch it now as a 4 and 5-year-old, but they wouldn't get it. They'd be like so bored. But when they get into that, when they start enjoying stories and movies with real people and not just Pinkalicious and Bluey, I feel like they would really kind of like this movie. I think they'd find it really cute and stuff. But critiquing it for me and watching it with that eye it's different.
And I do like an art movie, a movie about painting and art and stuff, and that could have been done better, and that would have been a lot of fun, because there are a lot of artists out there like us who want to see someone take up that hobby again, reconnect with their old artistic side and make a go of it, like we're trying to do.
Well, that is all we have for July, our lonely movie. But August is definitely ramping back up to our usual, I think, either 3 or 4. So
okay, let's make up for lost time here. Let's get watching these August movies.
That's right.
Woo.
So as always, be sure to be following us, OUAUPSIDE, on social media, as well as the Hallmarkies podcast at Hallmarkies Pod or Hallmarkies Podcast across all social media. And Carrie, where can people find you?
Come find me on Instagram at Hallmark Comics. That's Hallmark_comics.
And how about you, Casey?
You can find me on Twitter at Hallmark My Words.
You can find me at JessBSW Blog on Twitter and Instagram. And we will see you all next month.
See you next month. Bye.
Farewell.
Bye, everybody.